Hello everyone. I'm Amina Ansari and you're watching SW News English. The big news of the day is that TMC MP Mahua Moitra has accepted that she gave her parliamentary login and password to Mr. Hiranandani. In an interview to India Today, she has further made many claims. And in this episode, I will be having discussion with our managing editor, Mr. Sujit Nair, so that he can share his views on it. Hello, sir.
Hi, Amina.
So my first question to you is, as Ms. Mahua Moitra has accepted that she gave her parliamentary login ID to Mr. Hiranandani, so do you think is it ethical for a parliamentarian to share their ID with a common Indian citizen who is a
No,
businessman?
no, not businessman. Kya? You are not supposed to share your ID at all. Okay, I am not going to just talk on in the air, Amina. I'm going to give you the terms and conditions of National Informatic Center. ठीक है ना? National Informatic Center is the center that gives these MLAs, MPs, and parliamentarians. I'm sorry, not MLAs, even MLAs actually, even Assembly. It is National Informatic Center that gives you your login ID, your password, and all of that. And the terms and condition under the National Informatics Center is as follows. It says user are requested to keep the given user ID and password a secret. Number one. Number two, please change your password at least once in 3 months. Number three, by not doing so, my apologies, that is point number 1 and 2, the account may be compromised by hackers, and hackers can use the same account for sending spurious mails on the account's behalf. NIC is neither responsible nor accountable for any of these types of misuse of and compromises in the mail account. So this is something that NIC has already warned them. NIC, when they gave these parliamentarians their user IDs, NIC said, "Bhai, you can't share it with people. You can't share it with anybody. Forget about he's an Indian citizen, non-Indian citizen. Forget about businessman, non-businessman. You can't share it with anybody." This is something that it has been already warned to these parliamentarians. So, A, it is unethical. B, it is going against the terms and conditions of the NIC that granted you the user ID and password, Amina.
But Ms. Mahua Moitra also has claimed that the MPs share their passwords with their interns and the office colleagues, their PA and PR team.
Not supposed to be. Amina, it's like this. You see, the MPs may share it with their interns, their secretaries, and their office. I also have heard this. I have also heard this from a lot of MPs that they normally do share it. Some of them do share it with their secretaries and interns. Ab ye is what they practice. Let us understand this very clearly. This is what an MP practice. But because an MP practices that doesn't make it right. The thought is the question is whether is it right. The answer is it is wrong. Now, whether it is against whether others practice it, others gives it to their interns, gives it to their office secretaries, that's a different issue. So that must be happening. Number one. Number two is, see, let us understand. Let's put right where right is, and let's put wrong where wrong is. See, giving your password user ID to a complete outsider, okay, is even from in all perspective, it is wrong. In all perspective, it is wrong. I mean, let's not complicate things. Let's look at it from a simple our corporate, our channel, for instance, Amina. Okay, my password is shared by my secretary has my password, but that doesn't mean that is right. And would you share your office password with others? Would you share your office ID with others? Would you find it ethically incorrect to do that? Would you find it actually dangerous to do that because it could harm the channel? It could harm your own self? So one doesn't normally do all this, because imagine if somebody sends some kind of a message or some kind of a mail from your email ID, that could implicate you, that could implicate the channel. So you're putting both the channel and yourself at risk if you do it from a channel. This is a channel point of view, or a small channel. Now imagine from an Indian perspective, MP, a member of parliament perspective, it is not correct. So any way you look at it, it is not correct. So let's be sure about that.
So my second question to you is that Ms. Mahua Moitra has claimed that Mr. Adani has approached her in last 3 years 2 times through 2 MPs to have a discussion with her. So what do you think on it?
I have no idea. If she claims it, then it has to be introspected. It has to be investigated. My apologies. It has to be investigated. It has to be thoroughly investigated. If he has approached her, then it has to be investigated. And if she is lying, then Adani should put a defamation case against her. Anyway, he has put a defamation case against some journalist, hasn't he? So you should put a defamation case against her. You see, the point is like this, Amina. Mahua Moitra has been one effective opposition MP. You can't take it away from her. She has been one effective opposition MP. She has been asking the right questions to the government, and it is in the interest of democracy that we have such MPs in the parliament. People who can ask right questions to the government without fear. Now, favor, I will not say because I don't know favor or not favor. That is a different issue. Number one. Number two is from a layman's perspective. Okay, I don't know all the questions that she asked. I didn't bother to read it either. I didn't bother to do a research in whatever question she asked. But most of the questions that I heard and most of the questions that I spoke about in my channel, most of the questions that I wrote editorial about and I spoke in my editorial are questions which are pertaining, and it was pertaining and it was helpful for the nation. These questions needed to be asked. The Prime Minister should be answering these questions. The Parliament, the government should be answering these questions. Those were the questions she asked. So that you can't take it away from her. You call her whatever. What she must have done is unethical. I am not taking away that. I'm not saying that otherwise. But the fact remains that the questions she asked were important questions. The questions she asked were relevant questions. The questions she asked only helped our democracy for sure. Period. That's the point I will try and make. And if she says that Mr. Adani was trying to influence her or was trying to bribe her or whatever, if she says that, it is sad. It is sad that if it has happened. If it has not happened, then Mr. Adani, I am sure, will file a defamation case against her and will go for a criminal defamation case against her. So let us see, wait and watch what happens. What can we say about that at this moment, except for hearsay, what she is saying versus what possibly tomorrow Adani would say.
Ms. Mahua Moitra has also claimed that she received a message few weeks ago where she was asked to end all this and stay quiet for next 6 months till elections. And after that, she can attack Mr. Adani, but not to link PM Modi's name into it. So what do you think? Is there some kind of fear, or why they are trying to shut her up for next 6 months till elections?
Again, let's put clarity onto all this, Amina. Let's put clarity onto all this. We should. I don't have an opinion because I don't know whether what she's saying is the truth or false. Okay, so I will not comment on that. I don't know. I don't know what is the
we
truth.
Don't
what
know
is
if it
so
happened.
correct. But let's put some clarity onto this. Number one, she has been one of the most effective voices. One of the most effective voices against Mr. Adani and Mr. Modi in the parliament after Mr. Rahul Gandhi. This is a fact. Number one.
Yes.
Number two, she is the only Trinamool Congress MP who is being talking against Adani and Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi, all of them have, but this linking Mr. Adani to Modi. She is the only TMC MP that has been doing it. So what I'm trying to say is possibly that is why TMC is not supporting her, not standing by her during this time. That could be a possibility. No other MP has spoken so vociferously from TMC against Mr. Adani and Mr. Modi. So that's point number two. Point number three, whatever she has been saying has been helping or has been creating this narrative of Mr. Modi and the links between Mr. Modi and Mr. Adani. Now, whether there are links or not links, I don't know. I will not comment on that. But her narrative, along with Mr. Rahul Gandhi's narrative, has actually been is actually building up this narrative of Modi and Mr. Adani's links. So that's point number three. Point number four is, I think she is to a large extent, one of the major image damaging image of Bharatiya Janata Party. She is one of the major tool in damaging image of Bharatiya Janata Party, especially when it comes to the Modi Adani stands. She is one of the biggest damager after, again, I told you, Rahul Gandhi. So the fact is, what she is saying is actually percolating in the country. What she is saying is actually being created as a narrative in the country. What she is saying is being accepted, distributed, spoken about by a lot of media and a lot of people in this country. So if you look at it, yes, if she says, listen, I've been talking about this and I'm getting threat, sounds okay, sounds right. It could be, because what she speaks is making a lot of rounds in this country, and what she's speaking is making a narrative in this country. So if she says that, maybe it's true. But one, again, like I told you, one doesn't know whether what is right and what is wrong. So it is only her word we can take. And at this point in time, her credibility is not at its peak. But all the same, this is what she says.
As you said all these points, so my question to you is there some kind of fear which the Bharatiya Janata Party has when it comes to Mahua Moitra?
See, again, I am speaking from a pure logical perspective. Is she damaging Bharatiya Janata Party's and Modi's image? She is. So if a person damages Bharatiya Janata Party's and Modi's image, will Bharatiya Janata Party and Modi fear the person? It will. Logic. But has whatever she said has actually happened, wherein she was asked to keep quiet, she was asked to keep quiet for 6 months, she was asked to keep quiet till the election, whether that has actually happened or not, that I am not aware. I don't know, so I will not comment, because that will be wrong for me to comment on something that I don't know. But yeah, I mean, like I said, she has been damaging the image of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Mr. Adani, and causing a lot of damage to Bharatiya Janata Party, no doubt about it.
So as the attacks were made on Miss Mahua Moitra by Mr. Dehed Rai that she received luxury gifts and cash from Mr. Hiranandani. And now she has clarified that she received one scarf, which was her birthday present, and one lipstick and eyeshadow, which Mr. Hiranandani, the lipstick and the eyeshadow, which Mr. Hiranandani got for her from a duty-free store in Dubai. So, what do you think on receiving gifts like this?
Here,
An MP receiving gifts like this from a businessman who is a close friend of hers.
Receiving a gift from a friend, there is nothing wrong. Nothing wrong in receiving a gift from a friend. All of us in our lives have received gifts from our friends, whether it be our birthday, whether it be our anniversary. We have got friends coming and gifting us. So receiving a gift from a friend is nothing wrong. Number one. The question is whether the gift has been given to ask a question. That's different. That's different. If a gift has been given, wherein I say, I give you one lipstick, you ask one question. If that has happened, that tantamounts to bribe. That tantamounts to corruption. And that is wrong. That is criminal. But over the years, I gift a friend. And that friend, you are saying that asked a question on my behalf. Though asking on question on somebody's behalf in parliament is not wrong. If you say that, I have got a letter from so-and-so and that person has asked me to put up this question in the parliament and therefore I'm asking this question in the parliament on behalf of a citizen of India, there is nothing wrong in that. So let's put that also aside. But you are asking a question to benefit somebody, that is wrong. Okay, that is wrong. So there are three things to it. A, getting gifts, not wrong. Private relationships, these are relationships that a person, an MP cannot have relationships or what. So in his or her relationship, she gets gifts, that is different. Okay. Now, secondly, asking questions for somebody or asking question on a particular issue which was written to you by somebody, like a lot of us write to our MPs saying that please ask this question, please raise this in the parliament. We all write to our MPs, and we should write to our MPs saying that, listen, these are the questions you should be raising on our behalf in the parliament. Isn't that what a public representative is supposed to do? That's different. That's point number two. Nothing wrong. What is wrong? Wrong is when you take money, you say, or take gifts, and in lieu of that, you ask a question that benefits the person who gives you gifts. That is wrong. That is corruption. This is what we need to clearly understand. Okay? Now the question is, we are asking whether Miss Moitra has done what I mentioned in the third instance, wherein she has taken money and she has asked questions which benefited Mr. Hiranandani. So that's the point number one. Point number two. You see, whenever you have people who are jilted, or they were having this gentleman, this lawyer, I forget his name,
Dehadrai.
Dehadrai, and he, had the claim to be friends with Miss Moitra, and then later on, I guess they were not very friendly, and then he wrote a thing against Miss Moitra. See, all this is I don't know. It sounds very slimy. I mean, rather wrong word. Don't use the word slimy. All this sounds to me. It sounds very weird because you were friends first, then you were angry, then you wanted to take revenge, and so all this while when she was taking the gift, this man knew it and he didn't say anything. So it was not the love for the country. Correct? It is never the love for the country. And when everything went wrong, and when the relationship got spoiled, everything was wrong, and he wrote saying that she took bribe or whatever. So, all this is what has happened. All this has to be cleared. All this, the water has to be cleared. Like I said, we are not here to judge. We are nobody to judge either, and we shouldn't be judging either. But I think we should be thinking clearly when we look at this subject. And what I said is what I think the clarity is. So, if she has taken a gift in lieu of asking a question, okay, where it is clear that she has taken this gift, and she says, for this gift I'm going to ask a question, and that question is going to benefit you, then what she has done is wrong.
Now talking about Mr. Dehadrai, he claims that Ms. Mahua received cash in Hawala during 2019 Lok Sabha polls. So when he knew that she received this cash in 2019, then why he is doing this now? And now currently they are also having this fight for custody of their pet dog, Ms. Mahua Moitra and Dehadrai. So
let's forget dog, cat, and all. That's their problem. I don't think we should waste our time and our effort to talk about their dog and cat and all that. See, the point is, I told you, Amina, my answer remains. Okay, you see, this is not done for the love of the country. A person has not come forward for the love of the country. The person has come forward because he wanted to take revenge on somebody else. It is what I think. This is what I believe. This is what I see from where I sit. I may be wrong, I may be right, but I think that he's done it because it was out of spite. He wanted to teach that lady a lesson, and Hiranandani a lesson. So he said 2019 mein hua tha, 2020 mein hua tha, 2021 mein hua tha. Like you rightly said, and that is what every citizen should ask. When you knew it in 2019, if you are a citizen of this country, responsible citizen of this country,
and also
an MP
an
is taking hawala, sorry?
Also an advocate.
And also an advocate, and an MP, member of parliament, Lok Sabha, is taking hawala money, you should have been the first as a citizen of this country. I would have done it. I would have 100% done it. If I know that an MP is taking money, I would have voiced it, and I would have said that I think this MP is taking money and here is the proof. He should have done it. That is what you call responsible. That is a responsible. That's a duty of an Indian citizen. After 5 years, when you have katti with the other person, and then you say, now I am going to tell everything, and he has been taking bribe and all. Anyway, credibility everywhere is a big question mark to my mind.
Now, as we are talking about Mr. Dehadrai, Ms. Mahua has also claimed that when Mr. Dehadrai was questioned, he was asked 14 times to give the proof, but he didn't give any proof of transfer of cash from Mr. Hiranandani to Ms. Mahua Moitra. So right now there is no proof against Ms. Mahua Moitra.
See, I'll tell you what I respect Ms. Mahua Moitra is for the questions that she asks in the parliament. But apart from that, I think what she did was not correct.
Yes.
You see, getting in all these controversies, going and giving her password to somebody staying in Dubai, however close friend he or she is of hers, that is regardless, going and giving her password, saying that, okay, I asked him to ask me questions, I helped him to ask me questions, or he was uploading questions and all that. It's wrong. This is not how an MP operates. This doesn't befit an MP. So the only respect I have for Ms. Mahua Moitra is that she has been asking the right questions. She has been asking very educated questions. She has been constantly asking questions. She was one of the few opposition MPs who kept the entire essence of democracy alive in this country by asking right questions to the Prime Minister and the government. A lot of MPs were possibly scared or didn't even bother to do the homework to ask the questions in the parliament. Okay, so she was the one person who was asking those right questions. I have a lot of respect for her for that. Apart from that, I don't think we should be talking about what her dog is and what her relationships are and who she's, why that all of that happened. I am really not bothered about that. She has to prove. She has a lot of proving to do, by the way. She has a lot of proving to do, and she has to prove it in the next whatever 1 month, or she will have a lot of consequences to face. This is a fact. I will be sad. I will be sad if she is debarred. I will be sad if she is suspended. I'll be sad if she is disqualified for the simple reason that India lost a good opposition MP. But is that will that be completely unfair and all of that? I would say no, because she is possibly this all this came into limelight and everything happened because she was questioning the government, which is there is no doubt about it. At least in my mind, there is no doubt about it. But yeah, there is a lot of things she did also which she shouldn't have done. So yeah, both ways.
So, if during this investigation, if she is proven guilty and she is removed from her MP seat, so do you think if TMC leaves her, then she can join Congress, or if Congress can take her?
Ask Rahul Gandhi, ask Mallikarjun Kharge. I am not the right person to answer this question.
Because it's Rahul Gandhi who is always attacking Mr. Adani and linking Prime Minister Modi with Adani, and from TMC it's only Mahua Moitra. So do you think it will or it can happen?
See, there is a common cause that Rahul Gandhi and Miss Mahua Moitra is fighting for. Okay, and that common cause are the links that they are trying to establish between Adani and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That is a fact. Now, would that therefore make them political comrades? I don't know. One has to see. Number one.
Maybe
Number
if
two,
TMC leaves her, then she can join, or if they allow her to join.
I'll try and answer your question, Amina. See, Amina, one has to figure out what are the circumstances in which she is being, if at all she is being found guilty and she is being debarred or she is being suspended or she is being disqualified, then one needs to figure out what are the reasons that are given that she has been disqualified. Okay? Now, the fact is, how much of it people are going to stand with her? The people of India are going to stand with her. Are they going to stand with her? Or are they not going to stand with her? See, politics is different to what happens inside the parliamentary house, Amina. Politics is, are the people with you? That's the first question you ask in politics. So after this episode, are the people of India going to stand with Mahua Moitra? If the people of India are going to stand with Mahua Moitra, then possibly TMC will not let Mahua Moitra go. Because whether she is an MP or not, she will be a leader all the same. You can't stop her, you can't gag her from going and doing rallies for TMC during the assembly stroke, Lok Sabha stroke assembly elections. You can't gag her. She can go and talk for TMC. That's number one. Now, whether she will continue with TMC after TMC not really standing by her, that's a question one needs to ask. The same is with Congress. If Congress finds that Mahua Moitra is popular or possibly gained more popularity after being disqualified, or if at all she is being disqualified, she has gained more popularity after this controversy, this incident, then they will give her a red carpet welcome and say, join us. Nay, you don't stand for MP and MLA. That's okay if you are debarred. You continue to be a star campaigner for us. So she can continue to be a star campaigner for Congress. So all that can happen. And yeah, I mean, like I said, what she is doing in the parliament, she might as well do it on the streets of India. She can do it. So but then one needs to understand, how does all of this conclude? Is it going to conclude with her coming out as a winner? Or is it going to be concluded as she embarrassing herself with whatever she has done and whatever, however she has acted, and, wherever she has doled out her password and all that? If she is going to embarrass herself, then possibly Congress may not want to have her in their party. Otherwise, any party would like to have her. So that is the point I will make, Amina.
Also, one more point related to this. So, there are many talks around that Mamata Banerjee does not like Mahua Moitra. So, she never stands for her directly or in public. So, if Mahua Moitra joins Congress and she becomes the face of Congress in West Bengal, then will she become a competitor to Mamata Banerjee?
No, don't compare Mahua Moitra to Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee, Amina, is a very, very senior leader. She is a very popular leader. She is a very, very popular leader in West Bengal. Why in West Bengal? She is a very popular leader in almost entire country. She is one of those few leaders who can stand in various states and still win elections. So she is a national leader. So do not ever compare a Mahua Moitra to a Mamata Banerjee, number one. Number two, can Mahua Moitra be the face of Congress in West Bengal? Absolutely no, because Mahua Moitra has not been known as a leader who is a on-ground leader. They are not. Mahua Moitra is a fantastic parliamentarian. She is a brilliant parliamentarian. That's where her forte is. Derek O'Brien is a brilliant parliamentarian. That's where his forte is. See, it is people like Derek O'Brien and Mahua Moitra. Let us face facts. It is people like Derek O'Brien and Mahua Moitra who have actually made Trinamool Congress into All India Trinamool Congress. Because see, it is not that Trinamool Congress has some 500 leaders all over the country and all that, so they became All India Trinamool Congress. No. It is these two people predominantly who have popularized the thought process of Trinamool Congress, who has been seen on television almost every second day, whose work in the parliament has been appreciated by a lot of people. Therefore, they have become All India Trinamool Congress. That does not mean what I said earlier is wrong. What I said earlier is Mamata Banerjee is a senior leader, is one of the senior most leader in this country, and she is a national leader too. So that doesn't take it away from her. But the fact is, after her, the two more people who actually made the TMC famous are these two leaders. So that's number two. But neither is Mahua Moitra nor Derek O'Brien. Neither of them are on-ground leaders, which means that they are not leaders of the masses. When they go out on the street, if they stand and want to give a rally, they will not amass 1 lakh people or 2 lakh people to watch them. That doesn't happen. In politics, that is the most important thing. So a leader who can stand in the streets of West Bengal, wherever, and ensure 25,000 people come to see him or her, or when there's a rally, 2 lakh people come to see him or her, that person is the leader. Otherwise, they are good parliamentarians, even good politicians too. But leader is a different ball game altogether. So go mat mix karo aap.
Thank you so much for joining us. For more such discussions and updates, subscribe to SW News English.